It was pretty good.
And we're live.
Oh, we are live. Hello, Greg.
Good morning. Wow, what a crew. Already getting started. Man, I almost feel like we have quorum to start. We're live, Zep?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, let's not waste any time. I have a feeling it's going to be a packed house. I want to praise Tam for the great retrospective call. As always, man, the calls get better and better, I swear, on these. So that was really enjoyable. I want to praise Mitch for his endless promotion of the TC in 3 different languages. I don't know if anyone else has presented in 3 different languages. Mitch is probably the only person. I might be the only person I know in crypto who's done that, honestly. I want to also praise Wonka for leading Gravity and diving into the next steps. Lots of interesting stuff happening there. I want to praise the whole rewards crew, especially Christopher, for the work that's going on there is so cool and so epic. And a special shout out to Nuggin MS and the reward dashboard. I think that's going to blow a lot of people's minds in the space. Oh man, and I want to give praise to Pedro and Vitor for the Params and Sam and Paulo for the awesome work in Commons Swarm. Pass it to Livia.
Thanks. I wrote my praise in the praise channel. I praise Peter for the quality of presence he brings to the Academy research sessions and for being such a kind organizer. Praise Patty for being proactive to the smallest details in the research group, providing structures to help everyone to feel included and information to be easily found. Praise Angela for transforming complex information into a couple of lines of digestible ideas and for being a patient, encouraging, and supportive leader. Praise Argan for the knowledge he shared in reward systems and algorithmic policies and a great presentation to the research group today. Praise YGG for being an attentive listener and being able to explain other people's thoughts with clarity and curiosity and for picking the right moments to engage in conversation and offer a lot of value. And I'll pass to David.
Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's having an amazing week. I'd like to praise Chewy for not writing me off after I left the Twitter group and for keeping in touch and keeping me involved. And I am committed and I love you guys all. So yeah, big time double praise to Chewy for that. I'm going over the top here. I also want to praise the entire comms group for really everything they did to help bring me into the tech, the orientations, the constructive feedback, you name it. I'll praise Zero for jumping in. And I speak really slow because I'm making this up as I go. Thanks. I'll pass it over to, how about Tam? I appreciate everybody who's so prepared. You guys are awesome. I'll be there someday.
Yeah, I have a long list. I'm sure I'm not going to get to them all, but I'd like to praise Shebnem for sharing some really insightful thoughts and about Omega and how Omega can be wrapped closer into the rest of the coordination that we're doing in the TEC. Angela for her tireless support and conviction and belief in the TEC and promotion of the TEC. Gideon for a really extraordinary article on permissionless organizations and sharing some of the secrets of Communitas. Ivy for always being able to do everything everywhere, it seems. Mert for representing Omega in our transversal coordination calls. Acid Laser, because you always make me smile. Mitch, because your presentation at ETH France was amazing. Christopher, MS Nuggin, Livia, Vi, Octopus, everyone else I'm missing in the rewards. And T-Welds for such productive recent conversations. And I'll pass to, what about Mount Manu?
Thank you, Tim. I'm going to praise Frischel for all the organization and management work she does behind the scenes. I want to praise Mert for leading the TE Consilience Library initiative and for crafting the proposal. I want to praise Chewy for all the people he has brought into the community through his creative onboarding campaign, which has proven to be successful. I want to praise Nick for the thought-provoking conversation we have and for her caring nature. and I want to praise Gene for taking interest in my idea dealing with micro-franchising for the bottom of the pyramid. And I'll pass it to Acid Laser Tokayo.
Thanks, Okayo. So I want to praise Griff and Lauren for representing TC at the last One Hive Gardens MAA. Praise to Septi for always be everywhere and recall the calls. Chewy for being awesome leader at Comms and the new team DAO. Zero, Chewy, and Juanca for their contributions to Twitter. Sam and Rochelle for the account stack and TC contracts call yesterday. Septi, Griff, Nagan, Lauren, Juanca, Mitch, and Tam for being amazing Param Parties host. And I'll pass it to MS.
Thanks, Acid Laser. So I want to praise actually Acid Laser for the super cool welcome bot that's been added to the channel. Eduardo for all of the great updates that I always get when I can't participate in the Communitas side. Livia for the great thought and insight on a lot of the meetings we've had. Tam for all of the energy and insight that I get on our regular check-ins as well as co-meetings. Zeptimus for really taking on the quantifier description role. ViViV for all of the awesome stuff related to data and everything that they've been helping out with. Christopher for helping organize the reward side. Mitch for doing all of the really cool async stuff too with the quantifiers and helping with that. Nuggian for the crazy amount of data work he's been doing on the praise analysis side. And the list goes on, so if you didn't hear it here, you're going to hear it in the praise channel. I will pass it over to Benz. Did you go?
No, I haven't yet. Thank you. I'd like to give praise to Adu, Tam, Nate, and Chewy for great job on orientation calls. And then, I know this is kind of common stack, but the bonding curve video from the AMA was fantastic. So anyone who spoke on that or helped, I know people behind the scenes recording, posting, things like that, that was fantastic. I shared that with family and friends and great explanation. So thank you. I'll pass to Wonka.
Thanks. Yeah, I would like to praise Chewy because he's making a great effort leading the teams. And I would like to praise Septi because of all the hard work he does recording, and I know he had a hard week. Also Ivy, and I want to praise Griff and Livia for being great leaders, and Tam on that. And I will praise Durgadas and Manu for helping a lot with Gravity. And yeah, I will pass it to. I am not looking at the screen. Sorry. To MS.
MS already took it. Let's throw it to Billy Jitsu.
Oh man, hey guys, I'm in my coding cave right now, so no camera today. Man, I haven't been too active because I've been keeping my head down coding, but I want to do 2 shout-outs real quick. I want to praise Griff, man. Like, I think like the general leadership that you have, and like it has me coming back. Like I'm curious to see what's going on the actual community calls. So that's really cool. Like there's so many Discords I'm in, but like something's kind of pulling me over. So praise to you. And I don't know if it's really TC, but like I want to praise Acid Laser too for kind of like this project that he's done with us. Like he took a chance on a project for us, and like it's coming back to TEC. So I want to praise him too.
Just really quick, Billy, what project? Do you want to be a little more descriptive just for the praise transactions?
Sure. I don't want to like shill or anything, but like I'm working on that NFBs project with One Hive, and we're doing like a cross community thing. So Acid Laser is actually repping TEC with the B. So there'll be like TEC themed Bs on the NFT mints.
Nice, thanks, man. And do you want to pass it?
I don't have the full screen on there, so I'm going to pass it to you. To somebody.
Yeah, I got you. Let's go to Gene.
Thank you, sir. Like to praise Ms. Tam for leading the Communitas meeting early this week, and it was fun doing the Params party in there. Big praise for Gideon's article because it was really insightful and well constructed and made me feel good, and I know it made other people feel good as well. So, big praise for that. Praise Mitch for the Bolshevik Gambit show because it was awesome and makes me feel red-blooded through and through. Want to learn some Russian. And praise Mr. Manu for reconnecting because I was looking forward to it very much. And pass to Mateo as a.
Hey guys, been a while since coming to this call. I wanted to sink in, so for this time I want to praise Mitch for this presentation on ETH France. He did it here in Barranquilla in Spanish, so 3 language, man, that's amazing. I want to praise the whole reward board team, especially Christopher for leading that crew amazingly, and Aloysius for making a presentation that day that was really interesting on checking the interest on how we praise, how we measure the praise. That's all. Miss you all, guys. I wanna pass it to Septi.
Thank you, Mateo. Yeah, I want to give praise to Ivy, Juan, and Tam for really supporting me this week. This was a very hard week without internet. I couldn't, I really, was so supported. Thank you. I want to give praise to Levi for the Covenant update and also for offering support with the recordings. I want to praise Gideon for the Fledge proposal, 40% quorum. I really want to see it on the debates. I want to praise Christopher, Libby, and Mitch for being a great leaders on the reward dashboard, and I want to praise MS for helping me and working together on the quantifier role. And I want to praise to Ashley for keeping all the YouTube thumbnails updated. And I want to praise to Edo for the high vibes with the newcomers. And I'll pass it to Griff. You pass for me.
Sure. Let's go to Mitch, the communist chat himself. What do you got?
I got a whole bucket full of praise. I'd like to praise Rudolph and Christopher for the work on the reward system backend. Praise Nebs for working on the reward system front end. Praise Tam for jumping into hosting param parties and just like taking the knowledge and like putting it to use right there. I'd like to praise Pedro, Vitor, and Nuggin for taking the CCD past the finish line and providing valuable feedback how to make V2 even better. I'd like to praise Phil for inviting me to talk to ETH France about the TEC. Kojak and Grell for great debate topics around economic models. Durgadas for just like being curious and being honest about like his capacity and ability to learn about the Commons configuration dashboard. Livy for letting me crash her SoftGov call. Oh God, I'm out. There's so much more, but I'll keep passing. I'll give it to Nate.
Thanks, Mitch. I want to praise Aloysius for having so many just honest conversations. Praise Mitch for all the comments upgrade param parties. I want to praise Zepti for helping me with access and transparency issues. I want to praise Edu for onboarding and initializing new members. I want to praise Livy for continually teaching me. I want to praise Lauren for becoming a new steward. Congratulations, Lauren. I want to praise Durgadas for keeping us on our toes with the just different areas of philosophy and decision making. I want to praise Ivy for stepping up with the legal working group. I want to praise Manu for helping out with our HubSpot, and I want to praise 5IV for brainstorming solutions with me regarding GitHub and Boardroom and such. So, and I will pass it on to Clint Beastwood.
Sorry, guys. This is actually one of the my second community call, so I'm not too sure if I've spent enough time to give praise, but I do give praise to everyone that did set everything up, because I remember the first time that I did listen in. It was really helpful. Ended up kind of getting me a little bit more rooted and kind of like sunk in on my studies. So it's like I want to thank everyone for that, really, and show praise for just me being here. So thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming, Clint Beastwood. And I'll pass it for you. How about 0SA111?
Hey guys, this is Sam here. First time on a community call. Don't have too much to say, but shout out to, I think, is it EDU or Edu, for introducing me and saying hi to me as I joined in a bit early.
Nice. And you actually, we can sling it to Edu. I don't think you've gone yet, have you?
No, not yet. Thank you. Praise to the new people and the ones who has returned to the community call. Clean Beastwood Bands, OX, SA, Billy Jitsu. So nice to see you here. Praise to Christopher. I mean, we don't have a common space usually to talk, but the amount of work that he's doing behind the scenes for me, it's enormous, and I wish he was here to receive all the praise that everyone is providing to him. This praise Gene to Gene, Tam, Nate. I want to praise specifically also to Nate and Tam for always joining the orientation call and always supporting the call. It's nice to have you here. Praise to Mitch for his presentation. Praise to Acid Laser for the orientation deck he created for us. It has been improving and it's so nice. And praise also to Edgar, who is showing up in a lot of calls, and I'm seeing you around. It's nice to see you here. And I will pass it on to that's a good question. I have no idea.
There was only one left, but it was Edgar, actually. Edgar.
Well, hi. I press Juanca. I already did it in the chat, but like 20 minutes ago, he explained me a lot of things about Params in the Param debate. So thank you for that. And I praise everyone here because I admire your intelligence and that. So thank you, and that's it.
Thank you so much, Edgar, and thank you all. I love that game. It's like, oh, are you gonna pick the right person? Oh, it's so hard. I don't know. I love praise on Thursdays, and I love the community calls. That's community call 59. And as I was saying, I love praise on Thursdays, but we do praise every day. Edgar knows, he already typed it in the channel, and everyone can go into the praise channel or any channel in Discord if it's relevant to a specific channel. It's fun to put it in there. You can put praise anywhere, and everybody's happy about it. So praise all the time, and we even have praise on Telegram if you want to be next level. But you have to probably grab this slide to get into the Telegram chat. Just a reminder, we have $1.5 million sitting in a hatch DAO right now, so that's super cool. And also, and this is like by the way, this section is like, hey, just reminders, stuff I say every week. So I'm so sorry, but it's fun, you know, and it's always a good reminder of how we keep this community really lovey-dovey and happy. Number one is feedback. So we have this community call survey. If you think this community call can get better, or even if you just want to say, man, this community call is great, that's great too. That's great feedback. Go ahead, fill out our little type form and help us improve this call. Also, if you see some kind of tear in the relational fabric of the TEC, you can tell any active graviton. There's a little active graviton section in Discord. You can see it as the list of people. So you can message them and say, hey, you know, this person got someone else's gender wrong. Or you know, it seems like there's an awkwardness between me and this other person. And I don't know what's going on, or I do know what's going on. And I just want help resolving it. Man, that's what we want. We want proactive conflict transformation. So feel free to support us in that effort. And if you want to make an anonymous report, you can just put it in or if you just don't want to talk to someone about it, but you want to fill in the type form on your own pace, you can tell us about conflicts there. Also, advice process. Anytime you have to make a decision, go talk to the people who are affected by it and the experts on the topic. Makes everything go way more smoothly. And our values. So the TEC, we have a lot of magic happening, but there's a specific way that we want to do it and perform this stuff. Our Commons operates from a pro-social, human-centered perspective and prioritizes the advancement of token engineering over short-term profits. Integrity, curiosity, constructive inquiry, presence, and gratitude are foundational for maintaining mutual respect within our growing community. We encourage our members to be radically open source, non-hierarchical, transparent in their intentions, and accountable for their actions. And with that, I'll pass it to the Steward of Stewards, Tam, to take us away into the working group section.
Okay, awesome, cool. So we're on the last day of Sprint 23, and that means that tomorrow we'll be planning Sprint 24. So we have the sprint board all ready for tomorrow's planning session. We go through the product backlog and prioritize and then pull things into the sprint backlog. The link here on this page will just take you into, on this slide will take you into the sprint board if you want to hop in there. Just a reminder on the upcoming key dates, there's only a week left to propose and debate. So if you haven't already attended a Params party or debate, make haste, go today, go tomorrow, go to any of them next week before this phase propose and debate ends. There is on the top right, when the stewards meet, all the calls are open. Hop into one or more of the calls. Everyone's always invited. And on the second slide, the funding proposal is on the forum if anyone's interested in knowing what the Stewards Working Group is going to ask for in terms of funding. Since today was the last day of the sprint, we did our retrospective. For those of you that are very familiar with it, you know the deal already. We've been doing this for, well, 23 sprints. But today we came up with something that's never happened before, a three-way tie for actions that we should improve, that we should bring into the next sprint. So in our sprint planning session tomorrow, we're going to talk about them. They are assigning a buddy for new contributors to help new contributors get their footing and follow through on pieces of work. Rally up top token holders to come to debates and find some support for Gravity. So these are three of the things that we'll talk about bringing into the next sprint starting tomorrow. What was on the steward's mind this week? So a lot of stuff. We had a really great weekly. We did our normal temperature check. We had an ETH Denver check. We had a critical date check. We had reached consensus around Chewy's participation in the XDAO multisig and the TEC's commitment and hope for the X diagnosis success. Oh, and we had this amazing thing happen. We have a new steward. Lauren was nominated as a steward last week, and she did accept it. She did accept the stewardship, so she's officially the newest steward 13 in the TEC. Lucky 13. So please share some praise for Lauren and reach out to her and congratulate her. We're extremely lucky that she's with us. In fact, it seems as if she's one of the people who knows the Commons dashboard better than anyone else here. So it's really cool that she's accepted. I also want to share that if you haven't attended this Introduction to Token Engineering course, the TE Academy, it's in a few days. It's not too late to sign up. By this community call next week, it will be too late to sign up. So I'm giving you your last chance to sign up for it. It's a really extraordinary course. It's for everybody. And if you... whether you're technical or have a financial background or liberal arts background or athletic background, whatever background you have, it really is for everyone. It's a baseline of token engineering. So the Manu generally takes these and turns them into forum posts. They look like this. And it's a great recap of everything that's happened in every working group for the week. So I encourage you to check out the forum and catch up on those. And the last thing I want to say is retweets are love. So something you can do right now to help the Token Engineering Commons is retweet your favorite tweet. And if you can't pick, I'm going to go ahead and say choose this one. It's an article that was written by one of our contributors. And I think the best line in it is permissionless organizations displace employment as the front door to work. And it talks about his experience from both sides being onboarded into a permissionless organization and from the side of the organization that's trying to create this permissionless workspace. So it's very cool. And I do encourage everyone to retweet that. And with that, I will pass to Juan Carlos and Gravity.
Thanks, Tam. Well, in Gravity, we have a lot of questions at this moment because we are deciding how are we going to govern our DAO and how are we going to manage our funds. So that's super interesting. But we thrive in complexity, and that's why we're happy to face new challenges. And well, today after this call, we will go into chapter number 11 of the Nonviolent Communication book by Marshall Rosenberg. And this one talks about the protective use of force. And it's super interesting because sometimes when we think of nonviolent communication, we think that it can be very passive, but actually it's not passive, neither reactive, but it's actually transforming the signal that you receive from yourself to try to express and communicate with others. We have a Gitcoin grant, and we are participating in round number 12, so you can contribute to and support to our project. And we are always available for you if you have any conflictive situations, if you just want to talk to someone, if you don't know what to do in a certain situation, don't be afraid to talk to us. You can either fill the type form or just talk to one of the gravitons directly, and we will be there listening to your concerns, trying to be a mirror for you to process and for you to see the best ideas of how to handle or manage a situation. And everyone who wants to collaborate, you're very welcome. We are having like a lot of work and a lot of planning. So not only mediators right now are needed, but also people who has experience in DAOs can be very helpful for us at this moment. And yeah, I will pass to Common Swarm.
Thank you so much, Wonka. Great work with Gravity. Excited for the next chapter. And so with Common Swarm, man, so much is happening right now. We meet in OneHive's Discord because OneHive is funded the Common Swarm to start, and Common Stack is kind of finishing the job. But we meet Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. in Europe. And you should really come by. It's a lot of fun, especially right now because we're just putting on the icing on the cake. We have everything pretty much set. We did the audits. Gardens front end is all working. EVM CRISPR is killing it. If you want to see what the ABC will look like, we have a link right here. I'm not going to show it off because I showed it off last time. We successfully passed the Commons upgrade vote in our test hatch DAO, which by the way was incredible. 15% of the token holders voted in a 1 day. There was no like warning or anything. It's just like, hey, people go vote, and we got 15% of token holders to support. It's an incredible turnout for a demo vote. I think all DAOs would be jealous of that. And now we actually have a new vote up in our test garden. So this is the test garden. So just a little bit of a background. So right now we have $1.5 million sitting in a hatch DAO. It's kind of like a Mullic DAO on XDAI that people can rage quit from and all this stuff, right? So that money is sitting right there. And then what we do is we deploy a special gardens, and a gardens is like a commons, except it doesn't have a bonding curve. So the OneHive team created this beautiful gardens template, and we just deploy it with whatever parameters we determine after the whole parameter debates and stuff like that. So we'll just deploy a normal gardens, and then we'll need to upgrade it to become a commons. So we'll actually add in the bonding curve. And to do that, though, this gardens needs token holders. It doesn't have any to start. It just has Daotoshi Nakamoto, whoever deploys this thing. So we have the hatch DAO and the garden actually have to like make a deal. And so we built this tooling called migration tools that actually allow this DAO and this DAO to strike an atomic swap of sorts, where they say, hey, if the hatch DAO actually says, hey, if you mint tokens for all of my token holders, I'll send you all my money. And the gardens is like, okay, if you send me all your money, I'll mint tokens for all your token holders, right? And so then they actually, once both of those, once this vote passes, then it sends the money and mints the tokens. So now, and we this is where we are now. This already happened. So we actually, if you check in your wallet right now, you have a test TEC token. Let's just reload. And that test TEC token actually allows you to, I don't know why it does this sometimes. It actually allows you to vote in this garden that is live right now. And it's a garden, it's not a commons yet, because we need to pass this vote. So you can go and vote on this proposal right now. This in the garden, we lowered the quorum and everything. So it's not like dire that everyone needs to vote. But if you want to be part of the first like community, even though it's a test demo, it is on XDAI. It's the first upgrade into a commons. You could be a part of it. So you can go vote right now, and because you all have, if you have hatch tokens, then you have tokens in this DAO. And also the conviction voting is up, so you can play with conviction voting if you'd like. And yeah, you can. The DAO is live, like Paulo, I assume, made further development of EVM CRISPR. Give me 5,000 TDAI, so you could actually go and vote on. And this, by the way, is using this garden and when it does the upgrade to the commons will be using the parameters from TEC Casino. So we can actually test to see, like under TEC Casino, I think it's using like the orogeny parameters. It's this one. So let's see. I don't actually know. I didn't check to see what the parameters are. But yeah, so it's got a 20-day conviction growth and a spending limit and a minimum conviction of 2.25%. So you can see here that in this conviction voting proposal, this proposal will actually pass in 2 months, but you can vote and it will change. It's pretty cool. It'll change the, it'll actually change the time that it takes for it to pass. And that it's like a different way of how conviction voting will work in practice, and you can play with it right now. You can go in here and see I just voted, and this will update and reduce the time. And that's really how voting will work for us in conviction voting. Yeah, so I just took it from 2 months to 15 hours. So now this will pass in 15 hours. So that's it'll be a really fun experience. And it's live now. Definitely play with the test garden. You can propose things. You can sign the covenant. You can have the full workflow, and of course you can be part of you can play with the this historic moment where gardens will upgrade to a commons for the very first time. So that's super cool. And major praise to Sem and Paula for all the work that they're putting in to make this happen. And with that, I'll pass it to Livia for SoftGov.
Thanks. That's so cool to see that happening. So real now. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so in SoftGov this week, we had a Param party hosted by Mitch. It was very fun. And we entered into like very great discussions on how to bring more inclusivity, how to how could we balance whales entering and having the profit from that, but also keeping our values grounded to our mission, and also being mindful of the people that are joining that are not whales, and like how could we make parameters that were like the best possible option for everyone regarding our like culture and our value alignment. So it was very fun to get into a lot of these questions, and we got to the middle of this proposal that was a fork of the Ostrom's $1 million baby that Mitch, Juanca, and I did the other day. And we were going in a nice direction here, but actually Gideon saved us and he made a proposal. He finished this fork. So if you want to check out his proposal, it's called The Fledge, and it's fresh out there. He just told me that that he posted that. And Yeah, so it seems like there's still a little bit of confusion on voting, like how are we going to decide if we are moving forward with the proposals that we have now? How are the voting for the final params for the Commons upgrade going to work? So everything is very detailed in this post, except this last conversation that we had last week. We've been talking about it, and maybe it wasn't so clear of like how to look into this metric for knowing if we're moving forward or not. So on the 16th, more or less a week from now, we're going to look into all the proposals that we have, and we're going to see if we have 5 proposals that are being debated, that are being super engaged, that there is at least one person for each proposal that is willing to say, hey, I really want to advocate for this proposal. I think this is the best design for the TEC economy. And maybe we need to discuss a little bit better how we're going to do that, like how we're going to let people bring forth the proposals that they are shilling. So if you have a proposal from now already that you're super excited about, post here in this forum post. Let's open this chat for how are we gonna find these 5 proposals that are gonna make us move forward or not. And if you have some metrics that you would like to think of, like, I like this proposal because this, and this. I think this is the best economic design because this, and this. Well, this strategy is already laid out in each proposal, but it would be good for us to start a debate in here too. And I see Zeptimus is typing already. So that's great. Just jump into this post. And if the questions, if still there's confusion on how we're moving forward with this, just write your questions here and let's talk more openly about it. And then you saw in when Griff was showing the demo, I mean the test comments, you have in the top left corner the covenant. So this is what we'll have there. If this passes, we're gonna have to vote on this. There was a first draft a long time ago, and there was a lot of feedback to it. And finally, all the feedback is integrated, and we have this updated version of the community covenant. So please take a look. It's not going to get into a full advice process again because it has been in this process for a long time. Now is the resolution phase. We're just wanting to hear from legal tomorrow. So if you want to take a look at it from this perspective, come to the legal call tomorrow, and then hopefully it's going to be ready with the green lights to be posted on Snapshot. And it's going to be posted on Snapshot because this is going to have to go to the Hatch DAO, but we don't have like the best user experience for the Hatch DAO right now. So we have been having a lot of engagement on Snapshot. And since this is the first post of the covenant, we're going to put in there, and then it's going to go to the Hatch DAO for voting. But any other time that it needs to be updated, it's going to have to be posted on the Tau voting section. And that was it for SoftGov, and I'll pass to Edu with Communitas.
Thank you, Libby. Hello, everyone again. Communitas working group, basically just to start us every week, just to let you know that we meet every week at Monday, 8 p.m. CET, 2 p.m. EST. We also held 2 other calls that are important for our community, the orientation call. So if any of you haven't attended to orientation call, you're more than welcome to engage and participate. If you have questions that were not answered during this call or were not answered during your week, you can jump in, and a bunch of stewards also participate on this call, so you can connect with them and interact and ask questions regarding the DEC or anything else that you think could be interesting for us to answer. And then we also have the TEC Lounge, which is Fridays, 5 p.m., 8 a.m. PST. And TEC Lounge is a safe space for everyone to join, talk about what was the last movie they watch and what they are into this week and what they're gonna do this weekend. So it's a more of a connecting in a human level space, and everyone is welcome to join during this call. It has no timing; you can enter any moment of the call. And then on the updates for this week, one of the highlights of our week was the Gideon's article that also had mentioned on the click on the link on the slides is a link to the article and the tweet of the TEC. If you want to retweet it, it will be most and very appreciated. Just one thing, and that this is Gideon in Gideon's words, and just an explanation a little bit of the intention behind this article is that he mentioned that the strategy is an experiment in wrapping our work in a bigger picture framing so that it reaches out to people beyond the choir. So this is the intention. I think it's a good practice as a community to sort of have perspective about our practices, have perspective about what we do, and to make an effort to put the things out there. So kudos to Gideon for doing this first iteration of this experiment. And we hope that everyone can take a time to take a look at it and read it and share it how you feel like. And then the second thing is that we're looking for guides. So if you're interested, you like community building, you like talking to people, you like orientating people around, we will be hosting certain spaces for how to be a guide for the community. And the idea is that everyone is welcome to participate. There is even a tutorial about it. So please, if you're interested in being on working or helping with the orientation, you're more than welcome to participate. And then this week, I want to do a special kudos to all the people who joined after Mitch's presentation from Ethereum France, the people who joined after Gideon's article, and people who joined after the Cardano community. It seems Lauren did a presentation on the Cardano community, and we had probably more than 10 people joining our community thanks to that, and they have shown interest on reaching to the Cardano community. So thanks, Lauren, and thanks to all these people who specifically came from this community. If you came from another specific community that you heard about us, please share that on the orientation channel. Where do you came from? And we may bridge to that community too. We also had our own Param party. And it's very important because sometimes people believe that Param parties are something that is very technical. And it is, but even people who are non-technical, like the Communitas working group, can tackle it. And Tam, would you like to briefly share your process and how do you feel about it?
Oh, my process is the first Params party that I hosted. So that was really cool. And my process was to watch videos of Param parties, especially one on YouTube that Lauren hosted. And I attended a bunch myself. Mitch has been a big influence. Griff has been a big influence. Wonka, Zeptimus, Lauren. So I learned a lot from them, and I felt finally confident to host one myself. It was super fun. It's on our YouTube channel. One small thing is my laptop crashed and I was doing the recording, so we lost the last 10 minutes. But I want to give special thanks to Jean, because you were bold enough to, after we've submitted proposals, to actually have yours workshopped and to explain your thinking and methodology. And I really feel like that was cool and confident, and it was great to hear your thinking and then to sort of riff on it all together. And then special thanks, of course, to Mitch, who performed. I'm using that word intentionally. The capitalist Chad, Marxist Vlad. It's a really fun performance. I think the full title is The Bolsheviks Gamble Fork with Revolutionary Opening Price and Iron Curtain Conviction Voting. And it's number 109 if you want to go check it out. That was a lot of fun. It was super fun party, so I can't wait to go to more. I'll pass back to you, Eduardo.
Thank you, Tam. So yeah, you are more than welcome to participate and engage with the rest of the Param parties. And then we are growing very strong on Discord. We have, as I mentioned before, all these calls. You're more than welcome to participate. All of our calls are open. All the agendas are on the top of the description of every working group channel. So in case you're lost, you just go to the description of the text channel and you will find out what is it about that working group and what is it about in that weekly agenda. So thank you so much. And I will pass it on to Omega.
Thanks, Edu. Sebnem told me that she couldn't make it, so I'll be taking over for Omega, giving the updates. And yeah, okay, so Omega Working Group Weekly Sync happens on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. CET. This week we had our Params party, and it was hosted by Sebnem. A couple people attended. The planned reward system discussion was scheduled for December 1st, but it didn't happen because only 2 people showed up. So we're going to try again next week. Hopefully some of you can attend and we can get into it. We're trying to co-design the funding and sharing of the assets that we'll be creating in Omega. So please consider taking some time to join us on Wednesday, December 15th. We've also been working on the Consilience library proposal. Major praise to Mert for leading that. We have a Notion page for it now, which he created as well. And the initiative currently is being structured to have 3 phases. The first is the seeding phase, which will find subject matter experts and have them curate content in our Notion page. And after a certain amount of time, which may or may not be 3 months, we're going to start crowdsourcing curations from the community and then reward the best contributors. We plan to have a $15,000 budget for the first phase, although that might change. For the second one, it might be 10 or 15. And we're going to open up for community contributors on the second and third phase. So it's not just going to be subject matter experts. Yeah, so if the 2 phases are successful, the third phase, we're going to incorporate meta profiles into the library, which have reputation points and role badges. And yeah, that's it for the Consilience library updates. And so finally, we're also organizing token engineering ethics principles and practical sessions with facilitators such as Durgadas and myself. And you can message me and or Sebnem for information of that. And that's it for Omega. And I'll pass it to YGG for labs.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't see YGG here today, so I can always shill some token engineering learning opportunities. Right now, the Solidity study group is happening in the TEC Discord. So yeah, guess what? Solidity developers are making a lot of money. I'm not going to be shy about it. If you want to, it's insane. Every bull market, there's just a demand for Solidity devs that is not met. So if you're looking for a new career, I really suggest diving into Solidity development. And you can get your first taste of it in this Discord with Metaverde, going through crypto zombies. It's lots of fun, and you can see how you like it. Also, there's a lot of other. That's not really token engineering. That's development, but there are a lot of token engineering deep dive learning opportunities. The Reward Systems Conference is happening on December 10th. You can sign up here. There's a link right here, and you definitely want to check that out. There's DAO models every Wednesday at 9 a.m. West Coast time or 6 p.m. here in Europe in the Prime DAO Discord. There's Token Spice, which is a development software kind of like CAD, but specifically for designing token models. That happens on Mondays in the Token Engineering Discord. And then there's Longtail Financial Open Office Hours and Block Science Open Office Hours. If you ever want to just wax philosophically with some of the brightest minds in the space, you want to hit those for sure. And with that, I'll pass it to Comms Working Group. I think that's you, Manu, right?
Yeah, again, Chewy couldn't be here. He's feeling a little ill, and so I'm going to be taking over. Cool. So the Comms Working Group weekly sync happens every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 6 p.m. Europe time. And as for updates, these have been recurring for a couple of weeks now. We're still in Params party and debate season. And there's a link to the calendar right here on the slide. We're also still doing our creative onboarding campaign, which means we're looking for project managers, graphic designers, social media managers, copywriters, and animators. You can message Chewy or myself for that. As for the token engineering amplified messengers, aka team, we're going to have bounties coming soon. But for now, the current squads that comprise team are first translations, for which Escanora did a great presentation yesterday, breaking down the rewards that can be expected for doing translation work for half a dozen different languages. Second, we have HubSpot, for which I'll be doing a presentation next week. Third, we have TEC Academy, for which we'll have a course starting December 10th. Fourth, we have animation and video production, which will produce animated tutorial for quants as the first task. Fifth, we have Twitter planning, which Zero and myself do. Mostly Zero, if I'm being honest. So message him if you have an emergency tweet that needs to go online ASAP. And also worth noting, team weekly syncs are coming. Chui will update everyone once that gets going within a week or so. And last but not least, the GeekCon Grants Round 12 is live. Consider supporting the TC grants. I mean, even just a couple of dollars will get us more funding from the matching pool. Currently, Juanca has a collection of grants, Jessica as well. I believe Niran will be next. And that's pretty much it for comms. I'm going to pass it for Septi for transparency updates.
Thank you, Manu. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every 2 Mondays on 5 p.m. CT. And actually, this Monday, we have a super fun prom party with myself, Juan, and Ivy, where every one of us have like different points of view. And we end up with 800k of transparency with straight up 30% of reserve, which is, you know, wow, it looks nice. You just see the title and it looks nice. And yeah, it's very nice. Like as I was saying before, we three had different points of view, but then we were doing the average, and I really liked the high reserve ratio. That was so fun. And actually, this week was a bit hard, but because I was having some internet connections, so we had really a lot of support on the YouTube channel from Tam, Juan, and Ivy. So yeah, this shows how the community is so awesome. Like when someone is needing support, everyone is jumping to support. And even also Livy, she was saying I was having some problems, and she was like, I can help to record you, and yeah, that's so nice. And yeah, that's it for transparency this week. And with that, I'll pass it to Griff from Legal.
Yeah, we have our legal call tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. Ivy's been taking over the legal working group for Santi. Thank you so much, Santi, for all the great work that you did. And Ivy's going to bring it home to the hatch, or to the Commons upgrade. And we still have an open call out there for legal experts. I believe we have one, but we always need more. We're really on the cutting edge of some stuff, and it'd be nice to have a couple legal people in our back pocket because we're a little dicey. No, it's just we're trying new things. It's always good to have some legal opinions. The main goal tomorrow is the covenant. We're going to check through that and make sure. Cross the T's, dot the I's from the legal perspective with the legal hat on. We also need terms and conditions for proposals to be drafted. So if anyone is interested in helping us write terms and conditions for the conviction voting proposals, we need that before launch, and it would be a blocker. So it would be really great if anyone wants to step up for that. And yeah, and with that, I think I'll cut it short and pass it to myself for Params. We meet every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Although this next Tuesday we're just going to do a Param party because we're done. We're done. This thing is over. And I couldn't have been done without Mitch, Marco, Nuggin, Lauren, Manu, Vitor, YGG, Sem, Nuggin, Fabio, Pedro, Nate, and Zepti. There's so much help to make all the forum posts and all the work that was put into this. And it's such a beautiful product. So really proud of it. We added a couple of last new features. We cleaned up the augmented bonding curve module, so it was much easier. There's just one button, a lot less confusion, narrowed all of the actions, so it's really easy to use. And we also added shorter timelines in conviction voting. So you might have noticed these upgrades in the dashboard since the last time you played with it. Right now in token log, TEC Casino is killing it. It's not even worth trying to curate past it. I don't know, some whale came along and said that's the way to go. So that's cool. We're still doing Param parties though, so if you don't have the party calendar in your Google Calendar, make sure to add it. And the debates are heating up, so I expect a lot of good debates coming up, and so check the calendar to attend. And with that, I'll pass it to Olivia.
Thanks, Griff. Yeah, so Christopher can't come to this call, so I'll be giving this updates. So for I lost his leg. For the rewards working group, we have the manifesto that is in the forum. You can check it out. And there's bad news, sad news today that the trial praise quant had to be moved until next year because the back end was delayed a little bit, and we could do it next week, but then we needed a follow-up week, and that follow-up week for the analysis would be like right on the door of Christmas, and some people were not around, so we just thought it was going to be better to push everything for January and do with calm, and people are going to be excited about it. And next week, Wednesday, we meet at 8 p.m. Europe time. Next week, there will be a demo hosted by Nugget for RAD. That is the rewards analytic and distribution dashboard. So come to the next meeting if you want to see this awesome demo. And I also wanted to share this survey that, let me share my screen. Or you can do it, yeah. I want to share this survey that Aloysius did for, so Aloysius is in the governance research group, and it's in a team with Phil and Abiodun, that they needed some data that wasn't available from the data sets that we provided. So they went ahead and did this questionnaire on praise to get more into the subjective data of it. And Aloysius presented last week in our call, and this week in our call, and it was super insightful. So in general, there is a feeling that people really like praise. Like if you go to the last one, there's just to the last graph all the way down there. Or no, a little bit up. That blue and red one. It's like 90% approval and 10% not, but we had 30 responses, and that's a good number. And it's really worth it to get into this document and look into the answers and all the analytics, because it does offer many insights on how people are feeling like they're being valued, how value increases over time that people are participating in the community, how praise can be perceived positively and negatively simultaneously, sometimes by people, but there is a general positive stimulus from it. So really cool. There's a lot of insights in there, and major praise to Aloysius that shared that. And I want to pass quickly to Mitch or actually before I pass to him, I just want to give a shout out for this reward system assemblage that's happening tomorrow that Griff already mentioned, but the agenda is there. You can check it out. It's going to be a full day of talks, and it's really a lot of interesting people talking about reward systems, and definitely come. There's more than 300 signups already. I think it's going to be a really cool event. And then in the end, there is a DAO failure party. Come share the failure events that you had in any DAOs, and let's learn from it. And with that, I'll pass to Mitch to close it out, and he has a big call for action.
Yeah, so within the reward system, we have a quantifier role, and those will be the people that basically need to quantify praise. And so this will be a great opportunity for new contributors, old contributors, seasoned veterans to get involved in the reward system process. And so this will be like a super simple, like low requirement thing that you can do, and you'll receive TEC tokens for the time that you contribute. So hey, it pays. But we need an army, because there is an army's worth of praise out there. So many hands make light work, and if you're interested in getting involved in a very simple but meaningful way in the reward system, reach out to me, send me a DM if you want more info, or jump into the thread in the reward system channel for calling all quantifiers if you want to get involved with that. So that's my call to action. Get in touch, and I'll pass it back to Griff.
Thank you so much for the beautiful work in the reward system. So exciting. And thank you all for joining us on our 59th community call. After this, they're in the DAO Book Club server. There is an awesome nonviolent communication, NVC. Couldn't think of the acronym. NVC